What is up, guys? Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever time of the day it is for you. In today's video, I'm just going to give you a little quick tour of my camper van here. The van's a 2003 GMC Safari, and it's got 138,000 miles on it. I've owned the van for about a year now, and probably put about $1,500, $2,000 worth of parts into it. I didn't necessarily need to change all the parts out. Some of it I just did for maintenance, and other things I really did need to change out. So she squeaks. I think it's the AC delete kit. But anyways, friends, we'll go ahead and we'll get started. Well, right here at the swivel seat is a great place to start. I've got a little lever down here and it's pretty easy. Right here, you just gotta move it forward and then swivel the seat around. Quite honestly, guys, I haven't really been using the swivel seat. See, I've had a van before this. It was an Astro van. And when I show you the setup, I didn't have a couch slash bed. I just had a bed platform and I couldn't sit on it like I can sit on the couch over there, couch slash bed. But it still is nice to have the swivel. Now that you've kind of seen it, I'll go ahead and just kind of explain everything and talk a little bit about why I did what. And yeah, so you may notice I have a table right here, which really comes in handy. And I just got a magnet on it right here. So when you don't need it, it stays out of the way. And when you want to have a place to put your food, well, you got one. And I've got the mini fridge in the van, as you guys see. It was important to me that I had a freezer space. Got a few pizzas in there and some bacon, and the fridge part is pretty empty right now. Just showing you guys the space though. And this is my kitchen area. Flip this light on right here. I have a light right here as well, but I really don't use it. I used it at first, but I got tired of replacing the batteries on the back of there. And this one's the main light right there. That's the one I use most of the time, and it's a license plate light. I had a spare one, so that's why it ended up getting put in, and it works out pretty good. And I got food scissors right here, and they just clip on back of the wall. Well, there's a magnet that holds them right there. I actually thought about putting the spatula right up here and having it up like this, but it works fine just right here, so there's no point in really changing it. And that is a Pizzazz, and it does work good. I have an inverter, which I'll show you guys here right now. I believe it's 3,000 watts. Cast iron pan hangs on the wall back here. I got some magnets right here. I've actually used magnets quite a bit in this van build, but that works really good. Just put it up here and it doesn't even need that. Haven't had any issues with it. Same thing with the Pizzazz tray. And I've cooked a couple pizzas in here. Put the kind of a guard for heat right here, but you really don't need it. I just had extra because I lined that out back there. And I had an extra piece, so I said, why the heck not? We'll just go ahead and put a heat guard on there, but it really doesn't get too hot, friends. And even this, I need to stick up and hide it so it's out of sight, but it doesn't even get hot right up here. All the heat stays pretty much right here, even underneath. You could pull back this right here when you use it if you really want to. That way you have a little bit more space, but it really isn't even necessary, guys. And when I'm using the Pizzazz, I'm sitting right here, so I'm right next to it. So if there ever was an emergency, I would be able to stop it right away. Have a crock pot right here, and then there's a dish or two in there. Same as down here, this is where I keep my dishes. There's a magnet right there. It sticks onto the side, stays on there pretty good. And then I cut some slots out, if you can kind of see that right there. I'm not sure if you can. Yeah, you can kind of see it. That just goes right down in there. Falls down into the slot. You take the bowl right here, clip it back, and that way it keeps the dishes from rattling around. Everything stays nice, secure, and tight. This little tray right here, this is actually my cup holder. I put my cup right here when I'm sitting on the couch slash bed. Eventually what I want to end up doing though, you guys can see I have a basket right here, and I got my measuring cup there. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take a magnet and JB weld it on the bottom of this, and then put a magnet right here, and then the can will be empty, And then I'll have a place to stick my silverware down in there, and just to keep that basket more free. Right now it's just kind of, I want to find a place for the salt and the seasoning salt as well. It can ride in there for a while, but I want to make more of a permanent home for it. Maybe build like a little shelf right here so it stays right there, or a little slot, or even up over here. And yes, friends, that is a toaster, and it works good. And then we have a fire blanket as well, just in case. I got it for Christmas, so I probably wouldn't buy this on my own, but it's probably not a bad thing to have. Whip that out and throw it over the fire. So I just stick that right back up in there. Stick my extra pan right back up in here as well. And I have this right here. This is actually my stove top, and it goes up against the wall. Otherwise, when you're driving down the road, it tends to make kinds of bounces up and down sometimes, and it kind of gets annoying to listen to. So I put that right up there. JB welded magnets on there, up there, and sticks right up there and stays in place and hasn't fallen off, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to. And then I went ahead and installed the electric burner because I do have solar on the roof, and as you can see, I have a suitcase panel out here, 200 watts. I actually want to get more of those. I want to add another 200 watt suitcase panel to the system, or to the outfit. That way I have 400 watts total of suitcase panel. But what I want to do before that is I actually want to put more solar power on the roof. I've got a 100 watt panel up here, and well, I'm probably going to put, if they fit, I'm going to add one 200 watt panel back here or up here. I'm either going to have 600 or 800 watts of solar up here when I'm done. And this is my power charger. That's what I have my generator for. 50 amp hours, or excuse me, 25 amp or 50 amp current. I usually run it at 50 amp current. You can adjust the two. And this kind of looks like a mess right here, but it is safe. There isn't anything going on that's going to start a fire. I got the alligator clips right here, and one of those is for the light right here. And the other alligator clips on there is for my diesel heater, which I'll show you when we get around back. I have the vent pipe right here. Go ahead and put that back. I built this section right up here for the bread because I'm always smashing the bread. Same thing over here. This is actually a bread tray, and then I got a basket back here, macaroni, and got noodles in it right now, but you can put whatever you want in there. This shelf I actually built for a couple jars of peanut butter, but it's being used for supplements right now. And the TV has a DVD player in it. It's a 12 volt DVD player, or excuse me, it's a 12 volt TV. Dr. Phil, probably Texas Ranger. So that's my sleeping bag for the tent when I'm tent camping, but it also serves as a pillow, and it also serves as a cushion. So I just put that right back here against the wall. Sometimes I do the same thing with the bed blanket if I want to get a little bit more of a cushion. Check it out. I have this nice little roll around stool. I actually have to get a new one. It's on the list of things to get because, well, the hydraulic lift, when you press it down, it slowly works its way back up. But it works. Works as a good footrest. Sit here and watch TV or just relax and work on the laptop. And if that position gets tiring, well, then I just put the laptop right up here. And I got one of these numbers going on so I can sit here and do my editing. And then we also have this right here. That's another position. And as you guys can see, this is my water tank, my water jug. 6 gallons. The only reason that I built this stand right here, if you look back there, that is where I keep my jack at. Hopefully I never have to use it, but I wanted a spot that I didn't have to work around it all the time and keep moving it. Originally, I didn't have this wood right here. I just had where you could put the jack in, just lift it up and over, and well, I got looking at things, and this is what happened. I didn't plan it, it just kind of happened. I needed the spot to put my water jug. I knew I needed a water spot, so and this right here above the microwave is just for, oh, I've got tin foil, steak knives, lighters, JB Weld, and as you can see, there's a magnet right there. Magnet right there. just got to make sure it really locks in, and there we are. Haven't had a problem with it. That's just a pressure fit. One time I did have it in there very good, and boy, came back and hit the back of that seat right there. So you definitely have to make sure she's shoved in there, but once it gets in there and it's past that sticking point, it's not going anywhere. The microwave still opens, no interference. This fits about perfect right here, so that's why that goes there. Our towel holder, dispenser, pots and pans right there, and that's just Velcro. That white box, I'm not going to open it up, but it's full of van parts, spare van parts stuff. Hopefully we never have to use, but if we do, we have it. And this thing right here is pretty sweet. The 3-piece stovetop oven. It works good for like pizza bites and stuff like that, but now that I got the pizzazz over there, I'll probably still use it just because, well, it cooks pizza bites really good. It makes them all nice and crispy, and it just makes them the way that I like them. So you set that on the burner. Yeah, it's been used. And then you put whatever in there. I usually put some tin foil in there. And there you go. You got a stovetop oven. And we got a stereo back here. You want to listen to the radio when you cook breakfast in the morning or dinner, jam out in the afternoon. I got to actually get an antenna for it. I have one. I've been through 2 cheap $10 antennas and they're just not cutting it, friends. Something else I really like to show you guys is I am really impressed with this stove. Number 1, it has a self-igniter. Number 2, I've never had a stove that can go this low. Like, check this out. You can just really wind that down, friends. That is on right there. That is just crazy. But like I said, I use this one most of the time. But if the battery's low or we're using the microwave at the same time, then we'll just go ahead and use the gas stove. And this is my kitchen stool. When I want to use the kitchen, I can lean over from the bed right here and I can cook, but I just like to sit right here to get a little bit closer. Plenty of room, friends, and I can sit here and use my kitchen and function. This is the view right here. If we got TV reception, we can sit here and we can watch the news or watch some Walker Texas Ranger, do whatever we want. And then when we're done with the table, we flip it up and it's just like that. And this basket right here I just had in here, and well, it ended up getting filled up with books. We got Dredging for Gold, Advanced Dredging Techniques, Uncle Buck for a rainy day, Iron Eagle for a rainy day. I got some more movies right up here as well. Backpack. The guitar fits best right here. And the shoes, they go right here, friends. I was always tripping over shoes on my last build, my last van, and now I have a spot for them so I don't have to trip over them. Smartphone, TV tray if I want to watch, or TV stand I should say, if I want to use my phone, something like that. But really, I can just do this now. Got a camera mount in here / watch YouTube on it or whatever. Yeah, what do you guys think? That's really why I put it in here, so I can sit and have conversations with you guys. Velcro. Put that right back up there so it has a spot. And that was one of the biggest things that I wanted in this build. I wanted everything to have a spot that you didn't have to move stuff around to use. Because living in a small space, when you have a spot for everything and can keep everything nice and tight and organized and where it goes, well, you can live pretty tight and things don't get out of a mess. But the one time that when you start getting stuff out of order, it does not take long to make a mess in a small space, that's for sure. Good morning, guys. It's the next day now, and I'm just waiting on things to warm up a little bit out there, and then I'll go around back and I'll show you the generator box and the tool box and all the stuff I have hanging on the back wall of the van. Now, as far as the bed goes, guys, this used to be a cot. It kind of still is. The only thing caught about it is the frame, because I ended up cutting out the fabric part of the cot. If you guys are familiar with the cot, I think most of you are. It's kind of a cocoon, where you lay down and sleep. Anyways, I was using this thing as a couch all last winter, and what ended up happening was the fabric on the cot got pretty stretched out. And let alone that, it really wasn't that wide. It was about like this, and if I really wanted to stretch out and put my elbows out like that, my arm was hanging off the side of the cot. And if I would go this way, my arm would be hanging all the way off and there was no support. I wouldn't be able to move around when I was sleeping. I'd be pretty much stuck in the same spot, and I knew that wasn't going to work for me. So all I did was took some plywood and made it a little bit wider and screwed it down to the cot frame, and no complaints. Now, as far as padding goes, I have this blue camping pad, which is like just a pad that you buy at Walmart or whatever that you throw on the ground. And then I have a couple mattress pads right here and a couple sleeping bags, and pretty comfortable, no complaints. And then I have my headrest right here, which is actually my back seat, which works out really nice. I can turn around and sleep the other way as well. And this is the storage space underneath the bed. And that's that 2x4 I was talking about. I just had to raise it up a little bit so I can get over the wheel well back there. So the bed sits flush against the wall. I got my little mini amp right there, a piece of heater pipe. Got some totes down here. Got a gold pan in there, some prospecting equipment, some totes inside the tote. And it's just pretty much extra garage space. Stuff that you would keep in your garage. Rope. Got a drill down there. A little 12-volt tire pump. Even got a little popcorn pan back right there. Anyhow, I'm not going to pull it out, but that is the underneath the bed storage. And then we just go ahead and put the blanket right back there again. Keep it out of sight and keep things a little bit tighter. Welcome to the back of the van. I hope there's no wind noise on the camera. I realized that yesterday when I uploaded some clips and I had to redo them. Anyways, guys, that is a diesel heater tank for the diesel heater, which is actually, I put it behind the wheel well. It was a little bit of a job to get it back there. Yeah, there you go. You can see it. Filter for the diesel heater, or for the diesel. Then I got my inverter. It's mounted on this board right back here. Got my sluice box. Got some digging tools in there, crowbar and all that good stuff. Some knee pads. That's the TV antenna. And then I got my little camp shower back here. You just got to stick that down into a bucket of water and turn it on. You got hot water on demand. Little mirror right there. What's up, guys? Check this out. A little light for nighttime use. And then I got all kinds of cubby holes back here. I got them all filled up, full of bungee cords and stuff. Kind of hard to get into them right now, but yeah, there they are. They're all stuffed down in that door hole. Toolbox. I have to keep it strapped down right now. Doesn't really latch that good. These things I wrapped with the electrical tape because, well, the metal latches right here, these things have been opened up so many times that they've worn out thin. So I just put a bungee strap on there and call it good right now. Anyhow, a couple more sluice boxes, some classifiers, some rubber boots, motor oil, antifreeze, jack stand, bucket, shoes, raincoat, inner tube, flotation. Then I'll have my restroom bucket back there. Probably have another bucket for digging dirt for gold prospecting. And yeah, I can throw some food over here if you want, extra storage. That's pretty much all it is. This is my generator box. I pretty much built it to house the generator. I was gonna put it up in the van, but I realized real fast I didn't want to trip around it. Another little blow up boat. Got a couple of those things. Got an inner tube right here, the larger size one. And then we got a battery charger down there, and got a fuel jug for diesel. It's got a pump that you can put on there, or you put on there, put down in there. That way you can get your diesel filled up without having to pour the diesel over the a can over the actual back of the van. You don't want to have that mishap. Got a tent right there, a sleeping pad right there, a blow up one. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much what's back here. Just generator / storage box. And I just run the generator inside the box. Open this up right here, and that way you don't gotta lift it in and out. Works good in there. These are my oil filters for the van. I just taped them up back here. That way I always know what filter to buy. Got a spare tire underneath there. I went ahead and strapped it up that way just in case the cable breaks. I have extra insurance. Thinking of the guys on motorcycles out there. And I don't want to lose my tire because I know people have done that. And actually my last cable broke off when I went out west. Thankfully I was on a mining claim. I wasn't on a road, so I looked back and there was my tire. I was like, oh man. And last but not least, I've got a couple more water jugs here. Total, I got 3 water jugs. I can store 18 gallons of water. And when the seats turn around the other way, they both fit perfect right there. Now what I'm thinking about doing, thinking about coming back here and building some type of little platform so I can haul the extra water right back here and I don't have to have it inside. I don't know if I really want to have the sun beating down these cans though, so I definitely would have to have a tarp over it. Haven't quite decided if I'm going to do that yet, if I want more weight on the rear of the van or not. So yeah, guys, I am thinking about building a platform in the back for the water jugs. But like I said, when the swivel seat is turned around the other way, facing forward the way that this seat is right here, I can fit both of the things in there. They fit like a glove. They're perfect. But on the other hand, it would be nice to have a spot out back so I could use the floor space up here for other stuff. And I just don't know if I want extra weight back there, but I am thinking about putting a stiffer shock on the rear end. There's a pretty decent chance that I will. There's these coil over shocks. They're like 135 bucks for 2 of them. Really not too bad. So I was reading the forums and the guy said that he raised his rear suspension by 1 inch just by putting those shocks on. And the shocks are made for people who haul heavier loads, hauling around the trailer and stuff. So depending after I put those shocks on, how much clearance I gain in the back, if it goes up 1 inch or so in the back, more than likely, I'll probably just go ahead and make a spot for the water jugs back there. But that's still in the configuration. So guys, for the most part, the van's done. But as you see, like the spices and the seasonings and the salts, I'm still looking for a little area for that kind of stuff. And it's just the stuff like that, guys. It just, they say when you build a camper van, they're never truly done. And maybe that's why, because you just look for a little, you're just always filling the little holes of space the most efficiently that you can, and it's actually kind of fun. All right, friends, that is it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed watching it, and if you did, maybe give the video a thumbs up, smash the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.